All right, guys, welcome to our Empower Hour this fall 2024. It's been already an exciting start to the fall. Empower Hour at 7 o'clock Eastern every single Monday, guys, is where we come together as a network marketing community. We come together as leaders, builders, people who are having success, people who are looking for success, people who maybe haven't created any success. And we come together as a mastermind to really share our wisdom, share what's working, share ideas and share strategies and share things that we've done throughout the years. We've got anywhere from 40 years to 7 years to anything in between of people who have created really great success in this industry and been able to come here and share that. Last week, guys, we had Tanya Eliza Neerman. She's added the last name on to her name. So she was on here, guys, and Paul and I shared that we had gone to her digital marketing VIP mastermind back in March in North Carolina. Learned so much from her. That's why the Lions are here. We created the Lion Pride Academy, again, another just general training for network marketers. But really, she trained us and she shared that last week. We were the guinea pigs of how she builds her network marketing business online. So that's what we learned from her. And that's what we were talking about last week. She went a little high level. We went, into how to get to A to B really fast, how to go after the top level network marketers, what she's done to really build her business and what she would do if she, was to start over now. But we want to get into the kind of, she's a lot of digital marketing. And we had a conversation afterwards, Paul and Peg and Danny and I, and we talked about the fact that it may have been a little bit too much for some people who are starting, or it may have given the pressure that, oh my gosh, now I got to go build this brand and I got to go build my social media and I got to focus on that and I've got to change my whole strategy. No, what we want to talk about today is digital marketing for the network marketer. I'm going to go into a screen share. Oh, I can't. Paul, could you allow me?
Yeah, and then while you're doing that, I want to share something because one of the things, like there's a term. Hold on a second. Let me do this for everybody too. So you make co-host, I'll make Peg a co-host in case we want to maybe jump people in later for Q&A. Okay, so I want to mention something. She keeps talking about digital marketing and funnels, and I got a lot of calls after Tanya's event, not just even from my team, just people in the company, people from other companies. A funnel is a system. It's not all digital. Let me give you a basic funnel, okay? For those of you that use videos for your marketing, maybe your company has opportunity videos or whatever. Here's what I would do to do your first funnel. Your first funnel should be, what's the video you love the most for your company? Send that first. The second thing is your second video, which may be a little bit longer. You go with a 2-minute or a 3-minute video, a 7-minute video, and then you invite them to either an opportunity call or you send them your 1-hour-long webinar recruiting program. On top of that, there's going to be text messaging and communications that go in. So we teach something called 5/5. Maybe some Monday I'll share with you the 5/5 daily method of operation that I teach, that we use here. But a funnel could be something as simple as I send this video first, then the second video, and the third. If they're not going to sit through your 1-hour presentation, right, they're probably not going to come in and build a business and they don't see a value in it. It could be the quality of your digital media, but I don't want to kind of get into that part of it. I don't want to give you that variable. But here's what I'm going to tell you. If you give them a 1-hour video first, you know how many people send me their video on a messenger and it's an hour long and they want me to register and do all, I am not doing that. But if you send me a teaser video that gets my attention, I'm like, wow, that product or that comp plan is interesting to me. I got to say something that it is interesting. And then I get a 7-minute video. Then I'm going to go through and spend maybe an hour or so and watch a video. But if you're going to hit somebody with a fire hose, like on our Wednesday night call, right? That's an hour call. We're trying to get it down in time, but that's irrelevant. If that's the first exposure to someone, that's a lot to give them the first time out, right? Think of first dates, okay? You don't want to blow it. All right, Angel, we're back to you.
Yeah, I think that's somebody was saying something.
Yeah, Dave. I was going to ask them real quick. It's no different than going to a movie and they have trailers before you watch the movie. They're not going to show you 30 minutes of that movie. All right, they're going to show you 3 to 4 minute max to get you excited about coming back, and that's what you got to do. It's no difference
Exactly
here.
right. Danny, great analogy, except some of the trailers I've been seeing lately, if you go to see the movie, you're like, wow, I saw the whole damn thing in the trailer. It was only two major clips. But yes, you're right. And network marketing companies are like that. Sometimes just watching the trailer was good enough. Joining is not the key. Izzy, you look like you go on to say something.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you say what you're saying. Back in the day, I remember when I first broke out, I went to a Sunrider presentation. It lasted 5 days. People don't have the ability to do that. We've evolved to the point where my calls are now under 30 minutes. And I adhere to the MTV mentality. If they can sit for 30 minutes, I can get their attention and do more. Hour-long presentations, that dissertation, the throwing up on them, that is so 10 years ago. It's not even funny. I'm really excited that you mentioned that.
Yeah, we're trying so hard to get our full presentation down because we kind of go into comp plan a little bit. There is a 20-minute version that's more of the excitement level. We just get granular. Really, it's a closing call, to be honest with you. Go ahead.
Hey, you want to cover broad strokes, Paul, on any opportunity call. It's the broad strokes. If they can get into the broad strokes and they get in, then you get into the minutia. The only way you learn what's going on is by doing it, not by seeing it.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Go ahead, Angel.
Yeah, so I just wanted to quickly go over the Tanya Eliza recap because, again, there was a lot of information given from Tanya. She is just brilliant with her mind. She speaks at a very experienced level, and we just kind of want to break it down and just make it easier to comprehend from what does it actually look like to be using social media to build your business. We were very blunt on there that if you're not using social media right now, you're completely missing out, right? Whether or not that's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of the above, or just one that you really like. It's really how to dial in and speak to the people that are looking for you, the people that need your products or your business. I think the first thing that we have here is give yourself permission to be you. And when I see that, that also is not just your personality. Like you'll notice all of us on here that come on here, we're ourselves. Izzy's himself, Paul's himself, I myself, Peg's herself, Danny's himself. We are all very different people, but we are ourselves. And we're pretty consistently the same version of ourselves on all of these calls, right? You know what you're going to get when we show up. You know the kind of energy you're going to get. You know the kind of attitude you're going to get. You know the kind of training you're going to get. I hope you guys come here and expect a higher level of training from us. I hope you hold us at an expectation that we have to deliver to, and not that we're under promising and over delivering, but that you're actually just expecting that over delivering. So when we talk about giving yourself permission to be you, that means on social media, that means when you're talking to people, that means when you're messaging people, but that also means, are you a product person or are you a business person? And I don't know, we can have an open conversation on this and maybe you guys will disagree with me. I really do feel like if you focus on one, you have more success. I really do feel like if you say, well, I'm a product person, but I know I need to build the business. And so you want to talk product, but you're always thinking, how do I convert? How do I convert? Or you're focused on business and that's really your passion, but you're like, but how do I get customers? And how do I share this product? And it actually doesn't come naturally to me. I think that really throws you off. So who really are you? And so guys, pull out a notebook today. If you don't have one right now, go grab a piece of paper and a pen because we're giving you exercises today. We're talking about avatars, who you are, who you're speaking to, who is the person that you're talking to. And first of all, I want you to write at the top of that page, who am I? What do I want to talk about? What do I love about network marketing? What do I love about my company? What do I love about my products? What am I actually passionate about to go out every single day and speak about? Who are you speaking to? So once you identify what that is, who are you talking to? And guys, I spent 3 years with Tanya. I shared this last week. I worked with her very closely as her branding strategist. I could have literally written it out every single time I talked to somebody and they were paying her thousands of dollars for this coaching. And it was always, you're speaking to yourself. You're speaking to you. Paul is speaking to the Pauls. Danny's speaking to the Dannys. Peg's speaking to the Pegs. Izzy's speaking to the Izzy's. And you can broaden that and people will be moved by you. But when you're actually just starting your brand and thinking about a niche market, you're speaking to the people just like you. There was a video I did way many years back. Worst video I ever did. I had a cracked video screen. It's literally blurry, but I was speaking to moms who just wanted permission to stay home with their kids. And it's been my highest performing video on YouTube that I've ever had. It was not perfect. It was not great. I did not even look good. I was not professional. It was just a very easy video, but it's got the most reactions because that was moms looking for, oh my gosh, I just want to make a few extra $100, right? So when you're thinking about your niche, and I loved what Tanya said, she broke it down, write down these 6 words. When we're talking about this, we're going to go more into the exercise. So I don't really want to go too much into what these 6 words mean, but just write it down. What are their problems, struggles, challenges? What are their needs, wants, desires? And as we said, we have Ray coming up. When I coached with Ray, that was one of the things he had us do with our avatar, right? Literally draw a stick figure and start to give this person a name. What does their life look like? What do they do? We're going to go into that more, but write that down. What are their problems, struggles, challenges? And what are their needs, wants, and desires? And the reason I have these on the screen is because I made those notes last week. When she said that, it was like, boom, that is exactly what you need to know. So I'll give you guys, anybody who wants to speak on this, Paul, Izzy, Peg, Danny, guys, we're going to go more into detail. So I don't really want to dissect this right now, but your thoughts on this before we get into it.
So I would love to pitch in on this, Angel.
Yeah.
I really find it's easier once I figured out I'm talking to me, right? Because if I look at the person that I was before this business came, before this product that I use came into my life, what was I struggling with, and how has my life changed? And that makes me passionate to help that person who's in that position, right? So, I focus my marketing on talking to people, focusing on the problems, struggles, challenges, needs, wants, desires of people, women over 50, because I'm a woman. So women over 50 who want to feel confident again, who want to put themselves first again, right? And I just, I try to keep track of, or I listen. I listen to what those problems are when I see people posting, and that's what I use for my content. That's what are their challenges? I speak to that. And always, I say this all the time, always the purpose of my content is not to sell, but it's to start a conversation.
Let me add something on top of that real quick. Peg said, women over 50, people that are, she's looking for. Have you, not Peg, but people watching this or anybody, have you ever written down on a piece of paper the exact type of person you're looking for? And that's what you do. And you'll find out, like this conversation is all about, the people you're looking for are exactly who you are. But I think you need to write that down just so you have it in front of you, so you know who you're looking for.
Absolutely. And have it in front of you every single day.
Yeah.
Right. And we're going to get into that too. Paul, I feel like you can say something.
I do, but I'm muted. So I said all my good stuff already. I can't remember. So
Yeah,
Danny, let's go back with Danny, right? So Danny, what you talk about is a prospect profile. That's right. What you're looking for, that prospect profile, and who you're looking to recruit is you. And you're going to say, well, Paul, wait a second. You have people on your team that can't even speak English. So don't tell me you're recruiting just you. But what happens is, even though you find somebody who's like you, there's these subtle differences. And as they recruit and as you start building your organization, these subtle differences start to go. You ever hear the button story? You tell a story and you tell it to one person and one person tells it to another. And by the time the story gets back to you, it's completely changed with a completely different context. That's why your teams are diverse, because of those subtle differences. Izzy, I know you're chomping at the bit. I'm going to let you go in a second. The other thing is Peg. I'd rather work with Peg, who had to come up into her personality, than versus to try to take somebody who's this extrovert bordering on obnoxious and try to get them to curb back into challenging the ego. So believe it or not, sometimes you got to see the promise in people, versus what you're going to chip away at those people. You could build people up a lot easier to do that. Izzy, go right ahead.
I think that last comment about an extrovert and reeling them back in, I think that was directed at me. So I take that personally.
Well, an extrovert and an ego-driven person would do that. So no, I'm kidding.
Yeah. No,
That's so not true. But go ahead.
I want to touch on the one permission to be you, because this business, and there's 2 points to that. This business is a very revealing one. If you aren't you going into this when you're starting out, you're making a big mistake, because this business, this profession has a way of revealing you over time. So if you are putting on this facade of who you are, your people will see that erode over time. Paul and I now know each other. I think we're going on what, 3 years, 4 years, and we've been transparent with each other from the very beginning. And that's what you need to have with your people. Whoever you are, be you. Don't hide behind a mask, because it'll be revealed. And more importantly, it's even worse when you hit those heights that Paul and Danny and other people on this call hit. My mentor had a saying: success doesn't change you. It just makes you more of what you are. It magnifies you. So if you're successful and you're generous, you're going to give bigger gifts. You're going to be a better person. If you drink, you're just going to drink better booze. But if you're obnoxious, you're going to be very obnoxious. So just be you and be honest. And one last point, Peg, I'm going to agree with Paul. I loved working with you on our little seminar, because you are genuine. You are that person that has elevated himself, herself, and you personify everything that these calls are all about. Guys, if you want to see an example of what growth, being sincere, being transparent, and working through struggles, look no further than that amazing woman. I applaud you.
Izzy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I want to thank you for doing our session just a few weeks ago. That was amazing. If anybody wants to watch that, it's on my timeline. There was a shameless plug.
And I also think it's up in your page on Lion Pride Academy as one of the Lion Pride. So.
Yes.
And her hair looks fabulous tonight.
Fabulous.
No, and I think, Izzy, you said something there that that this industry reveals who you are over time. And that doesn't need to be taken as a negative, right? So when I shared that video of mine where I was speaking to moms actually was my biggest video, I actually felt like an imposter at that time, because I was so passionate about the business that I was, speaking to I was more business minded. And it was when I met a Paul Capozio and got to partner with him and build this business the way that I've always wanted to build this, that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm flourishing into exactly who I am and who I've always wanted to be here. So that doesn't mean, like, guys, a Paul Capozio doesn't mean that he's going out looking for Wall Street guys and always talking to those kind of guys and Italians and, only people who talk New Jersey. It means that he's looking for people with a global mind that know how to build business. He's having high-level conversations with network marketers. That's who he is. So when we say give yourself permission to be you, don't feel like you need to fit into a certain category that everybody else, like you see different people and you're like, well, which one of those am I? No, who are you? And who is it that you actually are, and who do you want to speak to? And that's what we're going to get into here.
Let me ask something real quick. Yeah, I just want to ask them real quick. The thing about this business, and I hate using the word recruiting, but you can recruit out of your weaknesses. So if you don't have a lot of time, find people that have a lot of time. If you don't know a lot of people, recruit people that know a lot of people. If you don't like to talk publicly, that's okay. Find people. So that's what you want to do. Find out what your weaknesses are and recruit from your weaknesses, and that's going to help grow your weaknesses into strengths.
Wow, Danny, we were actually going to do the podcast today. And then I got to be honest, since we're being transparent, Izzy, I had to take a nap because I had a huge carnivore steak lunch today. But turning your anger into ambition, the power of fear, how your fear could actually help you recruit, your frustration can help you recruit. We're going to show you how all of that pain can really help you be better and work from there because it takes so much time to do all that healing, right? So while you're doing your healing, we're going to show you how to be able to build with that. And I think that could really pretty much be a whole Monday night too.
Yeah. I think all of these could be.
Even jealousy, loneliness. We're going to cover frustration, anger, fear, loneliness, jealousy, Yeah. We're going to cover all of it.
So when we're talking about your niche or your niche or however you want to say it, we all say it differently. a lot of times we're casting out a net, or we think we want to just catch everybody, right? And so you look at your bio on your social. We're going to be talking about that, about how to get really specific on your social media and why that's your billboard to actually where you want to lead people. But identifying your niche, don't be afraid to get small. And so that means you're not trying to cast out a net to catch everybody. If you actually dialed in who is your ideal audience, take a picture of this slide, guys. This is stuff you want to be looking at every single day, or when you start to get derailed, or when you start to say, I don't know what content I want to create today. These are the answers to what your content should be. Who's your ideal audience? Who are you speaking to? So when you decided who you are, who's your ideal audience? Write out your avatar, like we said, with the stick person. Give them a name. What do they do? What's their job? How do they work? Who do they talk to? Where do they hang out? Who are you best equipped to help? If you're starting at square one right now, or maybe you've got a small team, or maybe you're in a little bit of momentum, who are you best equipped to help? Just dial that in more. When we had Tanya on last week, I've always admired her because she figured out what worked for her and she just multiplied that. She didn't steer off into another direction. She just put more and more and more into what was working, building her list, building her courses, building her audience, and giving value to her audience. Yes, is she doing that at a higher level than maybe some of us are right now? Sure. But she got there just from starting and from figuring it out.
Everybody starts out small. Hold on, before we go further, Maureen Miller is asking, hey, does anybody know of an app that are available to publish multiple social media sites at once? I had heard there were, Maureen, but to be honest with you, I heard they were very clunky and it didn't really work very well. That's the reviews I got because I was thinking about doing the same thing. And then I realized that you want to change certain things. You want to do Instagram a little bit differently than you want to do TikTok. You want to do TikTok a little differently than you want to do Facebook. So unless you have a significant social media game where you're posting multiple platforms, and even I think at Peg, right? Peg, you don't really use you don't post most of that, and you probably got the biggest social media game of anybody here. You can't. Sandra said she can't see the slide. It's up there. Can you guys see the slide?
Yes.
I see the slide.
So then you can move your stuff out of the way, Sandra. You got to click on something. It's on your end. Peg, you can see it?
Yes.
Okay.
So guys,
yeah, okay. So people say they can't see. John Burton says he can't see the screen either. Guys, it's got to be, you got to get the pictures of us out of the way. You don't need to see us. I didn't even do my hair today.
You're on your phone, slide to the right, you'll go to the left.
Slide to the right on your phone, move your screens around.
Yeah. These questions here are just to add to what we just already talked about. You know,
Yeah.
where do they spend their time? What are they concerned with? Again, that comes down to their problems, right? How are you going to solve their problems? Are you focused on health or whatever industry you're in, right? A lot of us are in the health industry and network marketing, but maybe you're insurance or maybe you're travel or whatever that is. What are you focused on? Is it really the industry that you're in or the financial freedom aspect? And then the more focused you are on one thing, the better. And that's again where it comes. Don't be afraid to go small. If you can talk to a smaller audience and serve that smaller audience and get them more and more hungry for the value that you're providing out there, just like Peg does, she is very consistent in who her audience is, right? The more you can speak directly to that audience and not feel like all of a sudden 1 week, okay, well, I'm talking to this audience, but I'm missing out on this audience. So I should probably do a video or content or something that should serve that person. No, stay consistent. It's okay if you lose people who don't fit in that niche. The more directed and the more focused you get on social media when it comes to the audience you're talking to, the better, because you will build that small focused group that are just waiting to hear the next thing you have to share.
Angel, I wanted to say something. Really what she's trying to say here is if you're trying to do your marketing and trying to reach a demographic of 18 to 75-year-olds, you're not going to build your business. Pick a lane and stay in it. Is it 18 to 30? Is it 30 to 60? Is it 60? Pick a lane and focus there, and you will see things explode. Your content is going to be more directed. It's going to be more interesting. It's going to be more well received by the audience you're targeting, right? How many of us when you see like some sort of I mean, how many people you think at the age of 18 are really thinking about anti-aging? There are some that do. There are some that do. They know they got to take care of it, maybe because of their mom or whatever. But for the most part, you're seeing that as a different demographic. So instead of trying to hit 18 to 75, hit that group that you really identify with. Fitness over 50, fitness over 40, fitness over 30, 70 and fit. Whatever you think you're going to be there, work that audience. When you've recruited every 60-year-old in the United States, then I'll show you another technique. From that point on, we'll go from there. Go ahead, Angel. Sorry, guys, that you can't get it to slide, but it's not on our end. People could see the slides. Sorry about that.
Well, we're going to go quickly into how to talk to a niche, and then I want to, get to Izzy and Danny and Peg as well. Share your story. Share who you are, where you came from. Start to get comfortable with being a little bit vulnerable. It doesn't mean that you need to there's different levels of vulnerability, right? It doesn't mean that you need to, if you're in a pain right now, it doesn't mean that you get on social media and start to talk about, I'm in this, I'm going through this is like, I'm identifying with this. Once you're through it, don't be afraid to share it, right? Once you have a solution to a problem, be excited to share it. Or share, hey, I'm going through this today. This is what's happened. You don't need to stay in a negative mindset, but just be free to share with your people. Like, especially say your market is moms, you've got young kids. It's okay to get on Facebook and social media every once in a while and say, hey, oh my gosh, my kids drove me crazy today. Any other moms out there feeling that today? It's okay to actually be vulnerable. Share your journey and testimony. If you're focused on products, share what your products have done. Share how Peg in her 60s is feeling better than she did in her 40s because of the product that she has, right? That intrigues people. That intrigues me. Right? It's like, oh my gosh, that's how I want to feel when I'm in my 60s. I want to feel better than I do now. Like, oh my gosh, provide solutions to the people that you're talking to, figure out what they need solved. It's not that hard. If your niche is the person who you were or are or have gone through, what problems did you have and what would have been a solution for you? When Paul just said a lot of people who are 18 aren't thinking about anti-aging, guess what? I was one of those people back then. I was already thinking about, okay, I want to be focused on making sure that, my skin is aging the best way and all of that. If somebody would have spoken to that niche market, I would have listened. If we would have had social media back then, we did not. I help people. Tanya, share. Go ahead, Paul.
I want to answer a couple of questions really quick. If this is what age span is too much, like is 30s to 70s too much? That's kind of broad. 50 to 70 will work better than 30 to 70. The needs of a 30-year-old, let's put it this way. Sexual health, hair, skin, nails may be more attractive to 30 to 50, 50 to 70, maybe a little bit more about heart function, liver function, kidney function, prostate health, things like that. So yeah, that's too broad. The other thing is it's still the 80-20 rule for posting. What I'm sure what you mean is 80% of it should be value or fun, and the 20% should be about what you do. And I even think that you could use 80-20, where you could do the 3, 5, 8 or whatever rule, 2 posts a week about your product, 5 posts a week about fun, and the rest about value or something. The big thing we push is value. My biggest post to this day I did years ago, which was how to increase your human growth hormone naturally for free. And that generated so many questions. And most people would rather take a product than actually go to the gym and do a leg workout 3 times a week, or intermittent fast for 3 days out of the week. Go ahead, Angel. Sorry about that, but it's an exciting call tonight. I got to really appreciate it. We had a lot of people on, and we got a lot of good questions, and everybody's really contributing. So that's really good. We hope you guys are getting value here.
So one thing that Tanya shared, and this is actually when I used to build blogs for people with her and her clients, when you would have a call to action on your site or you were collecting leads or whatever, I help people do blank by blank with this simple blank that you may not have heard yet, right? That's copy. It's a little bit of copy. It's a little bit of that clickbait copy. It's also part of what we went through when we visited with her at our mastermind. You really want to speak specifically to the market that you're talking to. I help people lose weight by blank and as little as blank without the sacrifice of blank. right? If you have a product that curbs people's appetite, so I help people lose weight by taking a simple product and in as little as 30 days without having to sacrifice eating. I don't know, right? But then you can get creative with it, but it really is that simple. And figuring out that statement for yourself and having that, we're going to go into your social media coming up here, but having that really be okay, if that is my statement, how am I speaking to that every single post I do, every single story I do, every single live I do, every single time I show up for people? How am I always speaking that mission statement? Right. And that's what you have to. So again, take a picture. Some people are saying they can't see the slides. So I just messaged Kate to make sure she can. Peg, what are your thoughts on this? Because you do this so well. Okay. Kate says she can see the slides. I don't know why other people can't, guys. I don't know what's going on.
Look, if I could see the slides, anybody could figure out.
Well, no, I was just hoping it wasn't just the panelists that could see the slides, but no, Kate sees them.
No. I checked that out already.
Okay.
We're going to do a
So-
Zoom class on one of the Mondays. We'll do a Zoom class. Go ahead, Peg.
How do you Zoom? How do you Zoom? So I just want to say, sharing your story, the slide prior said, who are you equipped to help? And some people might think, who am I equipped to help? Like, I'm not equipped to help anyone. But you are, if you look at who were you 5 years ago, the growth 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even if you just got into this business, you're equipped to help that person that looks up to you. And there are people that look up to you that you can turn around and give a hand and say, come with me. I know I've been through this. And, I think sharing your story is something that I like to try to do it once a month. Let me reintroduce myself. Let me tell you what I do, what I've been through, what my struggle was. And I just did the other day. I said, wow, I can't believe a few years ago, and it was talking about my hair, and I said, and now now I feel like this, and I can't tell you how many people have reached out to me from that post, and just providing those solutions, because there are people that are struggling with what you struggled with 5 years ago, and the what you said, Angel, about the kids are driving me crazy. And it might be just, that post, but you could also say at the end, but I'm so glad I have adults to talk to tonight, right? Because look at what we have, right? When I had little kids, if I had this group of adults to actually get to talk with, that would be amazing. So, there's all kinds of things that we have to offer.
Sure, there's community. I just want to say a couple of things. If you're watching this and you're having trouble building a team, some people teach better than they actually do, right? And you're going to say, and there's a lot of negative comments about, oh, well, those who can do and those who can't teach. But if you teach a team, if you tell somebody, listen, take these slides, right? Learn this presentation. Learn it. Add some things on it. Chat GPT for all I care. And start building yourself as a coach, because some of you can tell people what to do better than you could do it yourself. Okay. I'm going to touch you in on a little secret. I'm a really good negotiator. Okay. Except when it comes down to negotiating for me. I could give Izzy great advice. I've given my buddy Alex Stern amazing advice on negotiating deals. The guy's a brilliant deal maker, right? Yet I can do that. When it comes down to me, I'm like, I'll take whatever you're going to give me. You know what I mean? So understand where you are and what you do and who you are, and then go to that strength. So teach your way into a team is one way you could actually build. Or how about being the admin of a team? I talk about how one of the things when I talk to big leaders, if they're big recruiters, and we just brought on a bunch of big leaders, and Darren's got a big one on the hook right now, in a good way, I mean that, that to say, listen, you could drop your kids off at the pool. Not only will we make sure they're not going to drown, we're going to teach them how to swim. Meaning, bring your recruits in, we'll get them onboarded, we'll get them started, and we'll teach them how to be successful. You keep going ahead and build that team, because you're trying to build a paycheck. Everybody wants to recruit a 6- and 7-figure earner. Problem is, when they come on your team, they're going to make 0-figure earner, right? And if they straddle, meaning half in that company, half in this company, right? And they're not going to have the success you need. So you need to be able to get them in the money as fast as possible. So sometimes you need to turn into the admin. Sometimes you need to be the guy at the back of the parade sweeping up with the trash can for the horses that they poop all over the street. And that, let me tell you something, that can make you a lot of money. It can make you a lot of money. So some people teach better than they do. So start teaching people.
Sometimes I feel like we're the admin, the janitor, the maid. I don't know, man. Izzy, any thoughts on this slide before we go to the next one?
Yeah, one of the things I want to contribute on this is as you're doing all of this, keep it simple. Learn how to synthesize what you're going to say so that you're not throwing up on everybody. For example, to share your story, you don't have time to give a dissertation. Learn how to create a hook. It's like sending an email. That first line is the tagline, and that's going to get their interest. So I give an example in my particular story. I tell everybody, if I'm talking about the business, I learned how to go from losing my home to building my custom home in a very short period of time. How'd you do that? Great, I'm into that. If it's a product issue, I tell people I learned how to avoid going into my 60s slipping and go into my 60s skipping. It wasn't difficult. Taglines like that create an interest. You got to be creative. You got to think out of the box. And I learned how to, share the business. One of the things is if you don't buy from me today, my cousins will visit you tomorrow. That works too.
I love that.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
I had to throw in a New York, New Jersey click. I'm sorry.
We want to talk about the importance of a call to action, guys. We've talked about this before. Post on purpose. There is nothing wrong with making sure if you own a business and you're using social media to market for your business or to build your business or to sell your products, every single post should have a purpose. Figure out what that is. Is it a call to action to send you a DM? Is it a call to action to comment? Is it a call to action to answer a question that you have? Is it a call to action to just share what they're going through? Maybe you're just surveying your market at that time. Hey, tell me what your biggest struggle is right now as your call to action, right? Then you can start conversations with people. That is huge. Every single post should have a purpose. Back in the day with Rob Four, I don't know if anybody on here knows who that is, but he had a posting on purpose course he did. And I learned so much from that because it was like, no matter what you're doing, make sure every single thing, it's not a marketing tactic. It's just being purposeful in everything that you're doing, having an intention for everything that you're doing. We talk about intentional prospecting, intentional connecting. Peg and I did a whole call on how we organize our prospecting and everything. Everything should be intentional. We are running a business, not a hobby, and we're using our time effectively so that we can have more time. That's what we're all about. So there should be a purpose in everything that you don't be afraid of the purpose is basically what I'm saying. Don't be afraid to have a purpose for everything, because I think we're so scared to come across sounding like we have that purpose and oh my gosh, somebody's going to know that I'm asking for something. No, just what is your purpose? What are you actually looking for in this post? What are you looking for in this story? What are you looking for in this share? What are you looking for in this live, in this conversation, in this phone call, in this message, anything? What is the purpose? Create urgency. Be active. Let people know that you're busy. Let people know that there is an urgency in what you're doing. If you're kind of like, whatever, whenever, whatever, people aren't going to think that something's happening, right? It's okay to be urgent. It's okay to be fast. We trained in one of our team calls about the follow-up Fridays, and Peg and I talked about that. If you set that Fridays are your follow-up and it's like, hey, Izzy, I know it's a Saturday today, Izzy. I'm not going to follow up with you until Friday because that's actually my follow-up day. That's when I follow up with people. If you need me before then, let me know. Otherwise, I'll follow up with you on Friday and I'll see, and then I'll connect with him on Friday and be like, hey, I know I said to you, this is the day I connect with my potential prospects, my potential customers. I just wanted to see, do you need anything from me? I know I shared this. I'd love to take you to that next step. Whatever that conversation is for you and your business, but it shows that you're busy. It shows that your business is something that you respect, and it demands that respect from other people as well, right? Because in this industry, we tend to think that we need to keep ourselves lower. Keep it easy. Keep the call to action easy for people. Do this and get that. Do this and get that. Not do this or do this or do that or do this or click this or maybe I'll see you over here. If you don't give them a direct action, they're not going to take it. If you tell somebody what to do, they're going to do it. But if you don't tell them, they're not going to do it. And your call to action should solve your niche's problems always. So if you know who you're speaking to, figure out a way to talk to them. What's your biggest problem with this? I'm going to send you here to get this solution. Hey, I've created this document of 10 things that solve these problems. I would love for you guys to check it out. You just have to text this to that or go here and enter your information. You're going to get it right away. Whatever that is. It's very easy to do those things nowadays. You don't really have to be an online expert to figure it out. I know this is maybe a little bit more when we talk about solving problems, but guys, I'll open it up to you to share your
Look, I
thoughts.
want to say, don't buy systems, don't buy tools when you're doing onesies and twosies. Tools are important. Look, if you're a carpenter, you need a hammer, right? You need a pair of pliers, you need a couple of things. You don't go out and buy the world's most expensive electric saw unless you're going to do production work. So it's not the tool that you buy that's going to make you successful. It's the actions that you take. Then you add tools to become more efficient. But it's very hard to know what tool you want to buy. Like we have the texting tool, we use Project Broadcast, and we use Webinar Jam, and we use all of these other things that you may or may not have even heard of. But we didn't do that until we knew what we wanted to accomplish, because you can't go out and buy something if you don't know what you need the problem that you're going to solve. Not just, I need something to text. Well, text how? Who are you going to text? How often are you going to text? What do you need to get back to them if they do text you? Then you make a solution. The other thing is post on purpose. You guys saw I did an ice cream post about the old Dryers ice cream versus the new and how all the ingredients. And the reason I posted this is last night I was having a craving. And I literally got out and I wanted watermelon. And then I went down the ice cream aisle and I said, I will only buy ice cream if I could find something that's like the old Breyers ice cream, which is cream, sugar, and chocolate or vanilla or whatever. Even Breyers has got like 30 ingredients now. Okay. So I decided not to buy it. I bought frozen bananas that were covered in dark chocolate. Right. So I posted that about the Dwyers. But that didn't seem like there was any call to action in there. But every once in a while, I'll post a thought-provoking post or an emotional post or a funny post to re-engage the people that are not engaged with me. So those posts are probably more valuable. I did one, Izzy, remember Captain America, but meanwhile he's got the Puerto Rican flag on. Got a lot of response. Captain Barriqua. No, you're Captain Barriqua, but that was for a purpose. It was to re-engage people and to draw new people in to see my content. Maybe they're going to scroll down and see what else funny I had. And they're going to eventually see that, oh, this guy must be in some sort of health and wellness thing. Okay. Every once in a while, you got to reset the clock and then go into your other content, which has a true call to action, like buy my stuff. The other thing is keep it easy is really important, but easy is also engage, right? Which is build rapport with people, right? This is how you build the easy way. E is for engage. Build rapport with people. A is for assess what their needs are, what their pain points are. S is for solve the problem. And Y is for yes, which is to go for your close. If you build the easy way, once you build your 5 over 5, then go into easy, right? It's rapport, it's assess their challenges, solve the problem, and get to yes. And
Sorry,
Angel,
what is the E? What is the E?
E is engage. Engage with them. Build rapport. Become your friend. Remember I used to say BFF, be friends first? Because I really didn't know it meant best friends forever. But BFF, be friends first. Build rapport. Have a relationship. I talked to you how it works when you guys all want to do two things that you constantly make the same mistake over and over again. And I'm trying to beat it into your head. You heard that we're building in Mexico. So what do most of you do? Who do I know in Mexico? Who are my friends in Mexico? Instead of having a purpose to meet people in Mexico and then say, oh, by the way, so right now, if you think the company's going to be building in France or your company's going to be building in a new market next year, why are you not friending people in those markets now? Instead of calling them from a needy position. Same thing when another company goes out of business, switches to affiliate program. You want to call them up, give your condolences. And by the way, here's an application. You may want to join my team. But if, God forbid, something happened to my organization or my company, you don't think Izzy's getting a call? Even if it's just, Izzy, what do I do? What should I do? How do I do this? Whatever. Danny, hey, Paul, is it really that good over there? I'm building over here. You should come join me. I'm like, yeah, but this is pretty good over here. Is it really? You're not going to have an honest conversation with someone you just met. You're just not. You got to build these relationships with people. Okay? And then you got to be worthy. Anybody?
Nope, totally agree. Absolutely. And I think that using you as an example and how you put it's a good summary of saying be yourself, right? You're posting what works for you. Izzy's Izzyisms, right? If I wasn't happy where I was right now, following Izzy, getting to know Izzy, knowing who he is as a leader, he's not posting join my team, join my company, join my calls, do anything. He's posting value. And he's funny and you want to engage with his posts and you know that he's somebody that you'd love to like hang out with and have a drink with and just like chill out with and have a conversation.
And he's really done it. And he's really done it. He's not talking about doing it. In fact, he's still in it right now with the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's why he's on this call.
Wait, who's the good? Who's the bad?
Each of us. Wait, what?
The good, the bad, and the. I'll take ugly.
So we want to talk about the whole funnel side of things with your social media. When we went and learned with Tanya, one of the things, so simple, one of the most simplest things she said, but it stuck with me and it will stick with me. Your social media is your billboard to where you want to send them to. So many people think your social media is your home base. It's going to be there forever. Everything should be there. They should be able to find everything, do everything, join everything through there. Guess what? It's not. And you have to start to think that way. So when we talk about building a brand or building, figuring out what your niche is, where do you want to send them? What are you sending them to? How do they connect? And it doesn't have to be a website. You don't have to go out there and build a website. Text me. Don't be afraid to share your number. I know that we think that there's weirdos out there. I swear to God, my number's been out for 12 years and I have not had one case of a weirdo. Don't be afraid to put your number out there. I've had many people, though, text me and say, I saw your video. I just watched your video. Can we talk? Or, hey, I just watched this. Or, hey, I just saw this. Hey, I'd like to come to that. Don't be afraid. You don't have to go out and buy a text number. If you're really concerned about that stuff, I understand.
Then go ahead, right. If you're really concerned about it or it scares you and it's going to keep you from taking action, then buy the damn number or get a landing page and pay $12 a month. You know what I mean? Just do it.
Yeah.
But other than that, yes, just I get it. People are just too cautious. You can't be in business and not have your door open.
Yeah, and not have a billboard out there saying here's how to get in touch.
Well, go through that because I'm going to tell you something. Now, I don't care if you like Donald Trump or not. But if a president's Twitter feed could be canceled and they took him off of Twitter, you'd think they did that because of what he was saying? Because I see the shit on Twitter right now that's really, really out of control. Okay? No, they did it to damage his ability to market and campaign. You don't have to like the guy, but if they could do it to a president, you can lose your TikTok or your Facebook or something for posting a post and you got nobody to talk to. You need to get them offline. That's your billboard. Nobody goes to the billboard on the side of the road that says Cracker Barrel. You ever drive through the country and there's a Cracker Barrel sign everywhere? You don't go to eat at the billboard. You go to watch the billboard to go to the actual restaurant. So you're treating your billboard like the actual destination, and it's not even close to that. You must have a home base. Those of you who got upset with us, what are they doing Lion Pride? That's why we're doing Lion Pride. It's a place for people to go. And guess what? They're not doing this. Oh, Paul Capozio, Lion Pride. Scroll up. Oh, there's Izzy with Izzyism. Scroll up. There's John Melton. Oh, there's Peg Tucker. Okay. You want to get them off the distraction and into your home, into your world. Okay, that's what you want to do. Let them go in there and look around. If they're going to scroll through something, let them scroll through 4 pages of your landing page. Anybody got any comment? John, I'm sorry that you can't see them, and I know you're well versed in Zoom, but I don't know what to tell you guys. And yes, Sandra, the tools analogy, I'm glad it helped. But she's got an even better one. Sandra says she loves the tools analogy. When my son was young and wanted a new bat, meaning a baseball bat, I would say it's not the wand, it's the magician. Yeah, I heard a lot of guys in adult films say the same thing, so.
Yeah, Paul, along this line, what you said earlier is probably the most cogent and salient thing in here. Don't throw up about your company and your product and all of that. In essence, over the past few years, Facebook has become kind of a marketing cesspool. Everybody's marketing, stock market things and tips for this and funnels for that. Be different. That whole thing about being you, reinvent that. Use humor, use personal stuff. Maybe not take pictures of, the shrimp cocktail that you eat every day, but things that people can relate to. And that'll create that bonding circumstance. As you said, not that I know what I'm doing, but I post the silliest things, the funniest things that happen to me. I see a 13-inch spider on my wall. I bump into the wall like Fred Flintstone, nearly killed myself. I got more comments and connections offline being human and showing my fear of spiders that creep me the hell out, than I've done with anything else, than with any product post. So, be different, be you, be unique. You got someone that's going to be very unique coming up on your calls pretty soon too, and learn to go from there. People love that.
Yeah, I love that. And unique. That was a good play on words there, Izzy.
Unique.
Well,
Anybody else?
unique anymore.
Peg?
Not unique anymore. Not unique anymore. So guys, again, take a picture of all of these slides that we have up. Your social media profile should clear, and this may be very 101 for some people on what you're learning, but it may also be a refresher. Like if you're like, oh, I don't know how to work this whole social media thing, or I don't know what's not working. Are you consistent across all platforms? And we know that LinkedIn is more business, Facebook is more friends and family, Instagram is more social and pictures, and TikTok is more videos and fun and interactions. But are you consistent across all of those, right? Like, are you consistent in who you are and what you're messaging and what your message is and where they can find you and where you're pointing them to? You don't want to be on one platform saying, hey, come over and find me here, then be on another and say, hey, no, text this to that. No, have it be consistent. Peg's so great at that because she just repurposes her content for different social platforms, but still is consistent in what she's telling people to do, right? Your bio should speak to your niche market. I know that's a hard one for some people. What do I put in there? And do I put that I've got 5 kids and a dog and I live in the forest? And, what do I put in there? No. Who are you speaking to? Who do you help? Just like we said, I help blank do blank with blank. What could you put in your bio? Or what is your passion? Or who are you really speaking to? Follow me and there should be the word more, ... right? Follow me for more tips on this, or more tips on health, or more ways to lose weight, or more ways to just be happy, more ways to be positive. Follow me just on my journey on getting more happy, positive, losing weight, whatever that is. And every time they visit your billboard of social media, they should be guided to the next place to connect with you. And that's what we were just talking about now. Anybody else want to open up before we go to I think it's the final slide?
I just wanted to say, I don't think on Facebook you want to do that. Like you said, Angel, it's more for family and friends, but I 100% agree. And I was going to say this, I didn't know you had this on this next slide. I was going to say it earlier. You want to, on your Instagram profile, I help you. I call it my I help statement, right? I help this person who's trying to this with this by this. Yeah. And you want to put that in your Instagram, you want to put it in your TikTok. Those are definitely, I mean, when people go to decide, should I follow this person? They're not looking for people to follow, but if you give them a reason to follow you, and that definitely should be in your profile. 100% agree.
Love that. So bringing it all together. So if you need homework, identify your niche and stay focused. So again, write out that avatar. Who are they? What was the first thing that we said on that first slide? It's in my notes here. What are their problems, struggles, challenges? What are their needs, wants, and desires? Hopefully you took a picture of all of these slides so you have it. For those of you who can't see the slides, we'll give you the recording. Identify that, stay consistent, and tweak it where needed. And that's another thing Paul and I learned from Tanya was, wait until you've got enough traction on something to decide if it's working, right? Don't just put it out there and be like, oh my gosh, in like 30 minutes, nobody responded or nobody messaged me or nobody's texting me or nobody's registered or nobody, any of that. Don't do that. Give it a good solid 30, 60, 90 days before you even evaluate if something's working for you. It takes that consistency and habit to see if it's working. And it takes that time before your niche is going to start to trust you. Because guess what? There's probably 10,000 of you out there that they're seeing every single day because that's the market that we're in. So how are you unique? Right? When Izzy talks about the spider thing, that's unique. People interacted with him because we're not really seeing that, right? We're not seeing the fun side of things. We're seeing the more business and network marketing side of things. So that goes with being patient. Lead them to that strong call of action. So that again is what we just covered. And then download my free blank or text blank to get blank. What is it that you could start doing? What is your call to action? You can start so simply. You don't have to have tools. It's just you deciding what that's going to be for you. What are you going to be consistent with? Or send me your email and I'll add you to this list, right? People will do that if you tell them to. If your value is good enough, people will give you their email so that they can have what you're providing. So I will stop now, but I'll let you guys, Paul, Izzy, Peg,
Yeah,
Danny.
let's do the last one real quick, Angel, because I know we're late. Guys, listen, and I wanted to, especially to Darren, we have a Get on the Gel call that goes on right now, and people get up and give their live testimonials. Darren, it maybe would have been good for Cosmo because people give their actual testimonials. So go in there, getonthegel.com. What is it? No, it's not Get on the Gel. It's Gel and Tell.
Gelandtell.com.
So GELANDTELL.
And
gelandtel.com.
So N, the letter N, or is it AND?
and
And
N. So GEL, the letter N, TELL.com. gelandtell.com. And Darren, I would go in there and just listen to it a little bit, and you'll get people give the testimonials, and they could actually win a free bottle of gel. Okay, bottom line, guys, if you're looking for somebody to take action and they get that free bottle of gel, they're not joining until that gel is empty. So just remember that when you're using that call on who you want to win that gel. So sometimes not winning creates excitement for them and creates disappointment and fear of missing out. So sometimes your prospect not winning the gel is better for you than actually have them winning the gel. The other thing is download my free blank, text blank to get blank. You don't need a text system for that. If you're willing to put your phone number out there, or go get a Google number, a free Google number, where they give you a number that you could text to. When a text comes in, it just sends another text to your phone, but it's coming from this other number so that people can't call you. So what you do is you respond as if you're the autoresponder. If you're getting 1 or 2 calls a week or 2 or 3 texts a day for your free ebook, which you could generate on ChatGPT, right? Just send it to a number. You don't need to buy a system to do it. When it becomes overwhelming, I hope to God you got to spend money to get an SMS texting system. I wish that on all of you.
so this has really just been, guys, kind of a overview to keep it simple on what branding and niche marketing looks like, because I know there was a lot of information last week. She was just over delivering in value, and
Right.
some people may have been like, whoosh, that went right over my head, and how do I absorb this? This is really as simple as it looks, and this is really the step 1 of how Tanya teaches. This is the step 1 of what I learned from her 10 years ago. And this is what I've watched her multiply and scale up. So what if you started today with your 90-day plan? And what if you went into 2025 with a brand, a niche, actually knowing who you're speaking to, not having to do a post and thinking, oh, I don't know who I'm talking to. Nancy Billingsley is on this call right now. She knows who she's speaking to consistently every single time.
I wanted to bring her up that, and Nancy, it was me that was calling you up. I wanted you to talk about the niche because you really target a niche. You do, Peg does. You're not talking to 12-year-old, kids looking to buy Transformers toys. You're looking for the people who use our product.
I just want to say you can get way better by 2025, but you can start doing this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, Paul,
Yes.
you just mentioned one thing on the Google number. Back to branding. You guys have been covering that. If you're diligent, you can also get a Google number that is unique to you. For example, mine is Izzy123. My particular area code, Izzy123. It's just the simpler the better.
That's good. I love that. So stop playing with that. But listen, I don't want you to spend 3 hours setting up a Google number. I want to send you 3 hours doing the things that make you need a Google number. Do you understand what I'm saying? So many of you are going to stop now everything and get that number and not do what it takes to drive traffic to it. Drive the traffic first. Okay? Build the systems first. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I have to do one more thing.
Go
Guys,
ahead.
my biggest suggestion is always be in newbie mode. We always do the most when we're brand new than when we're experienced and we know everything.
That.
Yeah, it's the old expression. Enthusiasm on fire will always beat knowledge on ice. It don't matter what you know if you ain't doing nothing. So just go do.
So true.
Yeah.
Love that. Danny, you want to say anything?
Anybody need
I'm on my phone.
You got a limited time only. If you need a new Mercedes, you got only a few days left to get one from.
You got 2 days left, and I'm already checked out. So, but no, it was good. I just want to touch on one thing. I don't know who was talking about, on your Facebook. What I try to do is, first off, when you see people pull, I mean, you only need to see it 1 or 2 times and know that you don't want to see it anymore. But I try to do mine like 33, 33, and 33. 33% I have 33% shade and leadership, move type of thing. So I'm gonna command it. I get pissed off with something political.
You're breaking up, dude. But I think I know what you're saying. You're only going to piss off half the country. So, anybody else want to take us out?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to say goodnight. We're running over time. So text Empower to 732-913-8581. Text Empower to 732-913-8581, and you'll get a copy of this recording. Thank you, guys. Good night. Izzy, I'm available for at least 30 minutes.
Whoa, wait. We got Ray next week. Let's remind the people. And Izzy wanted to talk about Amber.
Okay, Izzy wanted to talk about Amber. We're running late, but we're also going to be in Toronto.
We're also going to be in Toronto
on Saturday at the Liberty Suites Hotel in Markham, which is really like 20 minutes from the airport. We got a bunch of people coming from Kate's team and Angel's team and Jeannie Kim's team, and really, really happy about this event because Canada is starting to really take off for us, and I'm really proud. And I'm really proud that it's happening with this group of people. So if you're not in our company, too bad. We're doing an event in Toronto. I hope it doesn't bother you.
Meet us, though.
And come meet us anyway. Come meet us for drinks or whatever. We know a great fake bar that serves pizza right next to the venue. So...
Not great.
Oh, yeah. Who are we with? Who are we with?
Kush.
We were with Kush, and we met him there, and we walked into this really shady looking pizzeria, and we were having some drinks there. So, all right, guys, go ahead. You guys finish up.
Yeah, Izzy.
Say this. Yeah.
About Amber.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to make this real quick. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but you all know who Ray Higdon is. He's just one of the best known names out there, but you may not know who Amber Boyd is. Let me tell you. You want to be on the call when this team brings Amber on. There are people that think they know what they're doing. Amber's the real deal. I saw her go from mobile home to custom home in literally the blink of an eye. And the woman has mastered the techniques so amazingly that she's proven she is what she is. It's okay to do it once. To do it more than once is really significant. And she has rebuilt her organizations using the same basic techniques that I'm sure she's going to share with you. And I had the opportunity to witness her do something remarkable that I've never seen any network marketing leader do in my entire 47 years in network marketing. But I'll share that story. It's actually 2 in 1. When you have her on the call, if there's a person worth listening to, not only is it Ray, it's worth getting everybody you know on the call when Amber Voigt's here. I promise you.
Thank you, Iz.
I'm so excited too. I'm so excited to have her here. She's such a great person, and we've just got such incredible people coming on. And then Todd Falcone, Tom Schreider, Fraser Brooks. We've just got so many people, guys. It's going to be an incredible fall. Stay plugged in. Text that number. We want to have you here. And then for the fillers in between, when you have us, we hope that we over deliver to you.
So long, guys.
Thank you so much, Izzy, Peg, Danny. I know Danny's gone. Thank you, Paul, so much. Love you guys.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.